The game went down! Big Sag. Players passing on the Shang Chi challenge for this reason. Double compensation for some players? Really? And the players versus Kabam in the current state of the game. Yes, I guess it's all about players. Players that play games. Marvel Contest of Champions is a game. Now, for those that don't know, we're on a quest, a journey, if you will, by trying to hit up to 58,000 subscribers. Please subscribe with post notifications on all. That would be great. Subscribing is free to a channel. Please think about doing it. There you go. Also, make sure to hit up the second channel, which is where I post Marvel Future Revolution content. It is a pretty fun game, so go and check it out. Links in the description down below. And also, there should be like an eye thing that should pop up. Go click it, and it will take you there. And yeah, all the content is on that channel for Marvel Future Revolution. Before going anywhere, I've got to give thanks to those that support the channel. Thank you very much for keeping this channel going. As a lot of you know, I do this full time, so I appreciate those that are Patreons and YouTube members. You're on screen right now. Thank you for supporting the channel. And also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. That's where I do a lot of live streaming. Not just MCOC, we'll be doing Marvel Future Revolution. We do Call of Duty Warzone, a whole host of things. So yeah, go and check out that. Thanks to those that give Amazon Prime free Twitch subs, those that give the gifted subs, Tier 1 subs, Tier 2 subs, bits, and as well donations. Thank you very much for helping keeping this channel going. Yes, that's right, we got that. So yeah, right. First of all, starting off Wednesday, as a lot of you know, the game went down. What the heck went down? It was a server problem, Kabam's side. Something that could not be avoided. Things go down with the game, apart from other things that are not particularly good at the moment. More on that story later. But yeah, look, here's the thing. It went down. I always worry when it goes down whether or not people are going to have threads about compensation. Funnily enough, it did. There were then a multiple kind of amounts of threads that then appeared about compensation, which look, at the end of the day, we are we're not getting. The game is up right now and fine, as a lot of you know, but it was just annoying because it happened on Wednesday. And that's just the reason if anyone's interested. Also, we've got new rewards over at Marvel Insider. Let's see what they've got this time. Well, okay, Ultimate X-Men Crystal, 1 Grandmaster X-Men Crystal, that's alright. 10 Force Signature Stones, 5-star Signature Stone Crystal, 3 Energy Refill, it's not, I don't know if it's full energy refill. I go, oh, I don't know, man. It's not too great. The Kitty Pryde bundle sees a 2-star Kitty Pryde, 2-star, 2 X-Men crystals, and some Signature Stone stuff and small energy refill. So it must be a full energy refill in 125,000. It ain't too bad, but if you are looking to hoard your points, maybe that's advisable to do because it just doesn't seem that there's something too spicy on offer. Next story to talk about is the mystery in the, I don't know, mystery in the contest, whatever this is. Something in the, I don't know, the wind. It was a dream, apparently, and in this particular clue, again, people are theorizing what this could be. Someone saying that it's Null doing the mysteries, and maybe that's something that factors into October. Do bear in mind, October is a ooh, spooky. Yeah, it's a scary month, isn't it? Because there's that thing with spooky, scary skeletons, rubbish, whatever it is. It's Halloween. That's what I'm getting to. It's Halloween. So the thing is, right, this could be linking into a Halloween-themed thing. Ooh. People are saying Null. Someone's saying Nightmare, but Null could be good. I mean, look, a lot of people have theorized that, especially from the way that it kind of looks like with the puzzle. Especially with what could be happening in this kind of like area right about here. As a lot of you know, the code or this mystery started off with the word wake. And I'm personally going with this as an option. Wake me up when September ends. Moving on now to more serious things in the Shang Chi challenge. For a lot of you, and as you know, it definitely doesn't seem worth the hassle for what you get back. At the end of the day, yeah, you can do it, but it does seem overly specific on certain champions that will be able to take it down. And from a player's perspective, I'd say it's very mixed as to the interest to grind it for just 15,000 6-star shards and a 10% tier 5 class catalyst selector, rather than, you know, giving your time to it. I probably will end up doing the Shang Chi challenge, but I gotta be honest, there may be some other content that I'm more interested in doing. that wouldn't take much of like effort, maybe the specific champions required. Like I am planning to use a combination of Aegon, maybe even a switching out team around it to be focused on Corvus, which seems to be the good or safer bet. But again, that's overly specific and not particularly great when it comes to, you know, going, oh, well, this content is for everyone, every kind of champion can do it and whatnot. It kind of puts us more into the situation of, hey, summon a showdown, where you see a plethora of champions, and I'm now bored of doing that joke, so I'm not going to do that joke anymore. Yeah. God, I was so close to doing that joke then. Next up, and let's talk about this double compensation thing. Right, okay, so I don't know really where to start with this, and do you bear in mind, take this with a pinch of salt. A lot of the times when I get sent stuff, you have to take things with a pinch of salt, and you have to like try to research back like where this comes from. Unfortunately, with a lot of this stuff, it does do the round through the communities. You'll get it through like community pages, you'll get it through things like the lineup, you get it from different places and go like, okay, is this real or is this not? I can't 100% verify that this is correct or incorrect. But here's the thing, there's definitely images that have done the rounds. This picked up in my Discord a couple of days ago or a day ago, I can't remember, but somebody was posting this to say that, okay, well, there's double compensation for somebody, and there seems to be like a problem with the dates. So whether or not it was a case that there was a mistake and maybe this was meant to be given as an extra, or maybe this is something to do with somebody changing their progression at a certain point in time, which I don't think is possible, because I think Kabam would always give it based on the particular progression you are at the point that they were going to issue it. So it could be a case if you became, I don't know, Cavalier to Thronebreaker at the end of last week, and them at the Kabam offices went, okay, we're going to be delivering it out, it is scheduled for this date, and then it's delivered, that it would be what it would be with Kabam at that time last week or whatever. But still, you know, I thought it was probably best to cover this, to say that not 100% sure on this. As you can see here, the date's 28th, 29th. So again, I don't know if this is something of like an incorrect, like fake image. But to say, as I said, like it has been doing the numbers. It did numbers in my Discord, and as well, kind of like has done the rounds elsewhere. So yeah, double compensation. What do you think? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's not? No account information, and as I said, that's just the thing in it. Would you give that account information if that was the case? It could even be a visual bug. That's another thing as well. It could be a visual bug, but it's just weird that there's two different types of denominations of 6-star shards within it, and as well some questionable things with it, with the image. But I don't know. Thoughts in the comment section. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? Now we move on to a very important story. This one is all about the players versus Kabam. So I think Solid Finality sent me something on Twitter about this, or somebody sent me on Twitter the response from Kabam Miike, which we're going to go over in this. But it's if you want the TLDR, it's basically the current state of the game. As a lot of you know, the current state of the game isn't particularly great. It's a skill-based game that relies heavily on controls on inputs, and as well responses to those inputs when you have your hands and your thumbs and your fingers, depending on how you play, on screen. And that's the biggest problem. Like if you swipe back and it's not working, you will eat a face full of damage, and then it becomes unpleasant when you've got a multiple time revive, and yeah, it's just it's not very nice. So Solid Finality puts together a lot of information, and we'll try and TLDR some of the stuff, basically saying the AQ compensation needs to be restored until the game is playable. I agree. The strict adherence to the Summer of Pain schedule was damaging to morale, as people had to spend additional resources due to bugs, which I agree with. If you saw the dexterity issues with Grandmaster, it was something that infuriated, and as well then just made people just not really interested in playing the game. And yeah, it's not to add like more flames to the fire. It's just a case of going like, look, it's all about accountability, and at the same time, actions from Kabam versus what's going on here, and that's just the thing with it. Essentially, Kabam have to rebuild their game from certain elements, like upwards, like the fight element of it. They're gonna have to literally like rebuild, and that's gonna be a mammoth thing they've got to do. In any case, let's read some of this and find out what's going down. We are coming to you in hopes of working together to turn morale around the community. We need an accurate timeline and resolution of these bugs. I think that would be good, but at the same time, it's like, I don't. I mean, the dev diaries kind of dried up, but I don't know if it's like it should be like state of the game dev diary, and just kind of talking like, okay, just to let you know, this week this is what we worked on. I don't know if that would be like nice enough just to kind of go like, okay, hello everybody, we're trying our best this week. This week we were able to work on hitbox issues. This week we were able to work on increasing the millisecond response between the point you tap to the point it's responded to by your champion. So that's just a thing as well. People say what is said here. It's hard to justify investing money into a broken game. That's the hard truth that many players are seeing, and that is going to be the thing, isn't it? Like it will harm spenders of the game, and as well you can be looking at situations of like I'm saying Exodus. That's a bit kind of weird, crazy. But in any case. We want to keep our players engaged, but we need you to meet us halfway. The signers of this letter represent approximately 140 alliances, totaling approximately 4,200 players of various segments of the game, from top 20 AQ down to map 4, from the Masters level down to optional war. We have Wells and free-to-play players, every player budget in between. These bugs affect all of them and more. Please work with us to keep the community and the game healthy. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like there's only it comes to a point. Kabam need to do better, and I'm sure they are working on stuff. It's just one of these things that I think peace of mind is to go once a week. What are you up to? Like a dev diary thing. Like, I don't know, like a Saturday, Sunday. It's just maybe just one dev goes, hey everybody, just to let you know, it's a sit down Friday. We've kind of been doing this and this week. Even to say, like, what if like we could say like maybe I'll extend the olive branch and say, do you fancy coming on the podcast, or maybe go on a podcast and just go like, okay, well, what have you done this week? How you feel you're making gains and stuff. And it's just one of these things where it puts us in touch with what's going on. But there's been a response from Kabam Miike on this. Let's read this. Granted, there hasn't been much communication since this because we haven't had new information to share. As we said in the post, making those improvements will be a lengthy process where we'll be overhauling a large part of the game to work with this game engine update, which, is good to say that, but it's just finding out, this week, are you working on this element, this element, this one? Just to let us know, like, okay, well, they don't see an end in sight, but just something to let us know what's going on. If I had a timeline for these fixes, I would be singing from the rooftops. What you're asking for us to do is share information that we do not have, and that's just called lying and doesn't help anyone. Again, just saying like, okay, well, this week we're working on this element or this element or this element, and kind of like, was it good or was it bad? So we go back to the drawing board. Now, one thing I don't like about this petition is that it makes it seem like players of all segments are affected, but somehow not us. Nobody is more affected than this issue than we are, and nobody is more disturbed and spending more time fixing it than our engineers are. We all want the same thing, and that's a game that functions reliably. I'm actually that there like functions reliably. I'm glad that that's kind of like mentioned, because then a lot of times I just kind of feel like the game is at the moment consistently inconsistent. So that's a good omission. We'll continue to conversations with the team on the topic of compensation and content rollout. So there may be new compensation, there may be stuff that needs to be done with content, but in the meantime, the show must go on. Also planning more communication that we can expect in the next week or two. So more communication is coming. More information from our partners. Right. And I've got to be honest, right? If Kabam are using Unreal Engine or any kind of like engine build, they should be demanding some serious compensation from that company, because they have massively affected Kabam's ability to create a consistent game. And it is very serious. Like that's like Netmarble getting involved with this kind of stuff, kind of like financial fucking serious. That is real serious. So yeah, more communication's coming, and that's good. We can take that as a positive from this. More compensation may be coming as well. But that's just the thing, you know, we just need it to be good. And I would prefer the idea of like, okay, weekly basis, you know, what are the devs up to? Maybe even 2 weeks, a bi-weekly basis to say, hey, we're working on this, this has been results of this has worked well, and that kind of stuff. But on that subject, put in the comment section, like, how do you feel about this current situation being handled? How would you do better to kind of communicate factors of this and the state of the game? Be interesting to hear from you on that subject. I think what we'll do is we'll end the Marvel Contest of Champions news on that basis. More communication, compensation, and other stuff potentially on the way. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Check out some other content on screen right now, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.